let me talk about this patent troll thing, because this is, for an extended period of time, I was very concerned about this. And then I went through a period of unmitigated joy because it was upsetting Mark Maron. And then it all culminated in my going out to, at least in my mind, out to L.A. to shoot an episode of Maron that was about the patent troll, who was challenging people who had existing podcasts and basically saying, well, we got two or three letters from lawyers. And now in retrospect, I'm sad I didn't set up the conference call that we were supposed to do. I'm really sad because I had the whole thing planned out. And Nikki was just like, don't do this. Why do you do things like this? This ends up coming back to bite you in the ass. And it's true. I've done so many of these things, things that I can't even tell you about. I can't tell you about. When I talk about I've alienated certain people in certain places, certain media outlets, understand that I've alienated them in such a way that it's I'm not going to make it public. The stories are really good. People have heard them, but I'm very discreet with who I tell them to because I don't want them to get out because it was childish behavior on my part that I found very entertaining for myself at the time. With always like, what's the chances of this coming back to bite me in the ass? And then it's all of a sudden like, oh, he's the landlord, or he's the, she's the one who's responsible as to whether or not you get coverage for your colonoscopy, or
I just
whatever.
own everything now, Sam.
Yeah,
everything with regards to you is run by me.
Honestly. So what I was going to do with these patent trolls, they first sent me a letter. I ignored it. I asked Maron if he got it. I contacted the EFF to get them involved, and their involvement ended up being very important. But that's the first thing I did. In fact, that day I had them on my show when I got the letter. And so they came on, we talked about it, and then I got another letter. And ultimately I figured out that they got the letter because I had won a podcast award. Podcast awards, incidentally, going to be announced, I think, on Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Coincidentally, I'm going to be in Vegas for PAP's conference. I'll talk about that more later. But so this patent troll was basically saying, like, we invented podcasting. We never actually did it, but we invented it based upon our idea about sending out a series of cassette tapes. So it was this ridiculousness. At one point, they're like, you better contact us. We want to set up a conference call, a video conference call. And so I had the whole thing planned out. The guy was going to say, like, what are your revenue for? And I said, well, hold on. Let me call down to accounting. I was going to put on like a little accountant hat and go, hello, I'm here. And just to see the look on their faces as this guy that they would assume is completely insane responds to all their calls. And I said, let me talk to legal affairs. And I put a tie on. Hello, I'm from legal affairs. How can I help you? Just to give these guys a sense of like, do you realize how, you're like how down at the bottom of the barrel you are scraping for cash for them? So that never happened. But this did a couple of days ago. The U.S. Patent and Trademark Office invalidated key claims in the so-called podcasting patent after a petition for review from the EFF, a decision that significantly curtails the ability of a patent troll to threaten podcasters big and small. You'll recall that it was a company called Personal Audio that began demanding licensing fees from podcasters, including comedian Adam Carolla, 3 major television networks, also Sam Seder. Personal Audio doesn't do podcasting. EFF showed that Personal Audio did not invent anything new before it filed its patent application, and in fact, other people were podcasting for years previously. Earlier examples of podcasting include internet pioneer Carl Malamud's Geek of the Week online radio show and online broadcast by CNN and the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. So there you have it. It's not completely over, but it's basically over. So long, suckers. I'm sorry that I never. And you know what? I don't care. I'm for now on. If something like that comes up, I'm burning the bridge. I don't care anymore. I really don't. There's no bridge. The only bridge I'm really concerned about burning would be like the Manhattan Bridge or the Brooklyn Bridge, in case I want to get to Manhattan. But that's it. Only physical bridges are the only bridges I'm not going to burn anymore. Anymore. That's it for now on. No more physical bridges.